whereby they've now got players pointing where they want the ball to go, raising their hands for offsides. Sometimes the linesman gives it, sometimes he doesn't. You never know. You've got guys gesturing and for the ball when there's a corner and all these. And when guys get tackled, guys like fall on the floor and look up to the sky or like remonstrate where they would have liked the ball if a striker runs past them and just shoots. And you see it all in game. And I'm telling you, that's like it's made the game better. Simple little things like that, it's actually improved the game. And I just can't stress to EA enough that, guys, all the glitz and sophisticated stuff you do is not as big as these little things for real football fans. When you're watching this, like these are the things that make you go, wow, man, this is realistic, you know? Things like that, you know? Like the thing you've now brought in with like finally having referees on the pitch and linesmen on the pitch. That's a big change. You could have had this before, and even if they weren't as good as you would have liked them, just have them in the game because it's just makes it more realistic, you know. And I'm just saying that, you know what, with all the little things that you've done in now with the players' gestures and all these things, it's big. What you need to do is just remove, edit out all the nonsense cutscenes that you have, which is slow the game down. They look stupid, they are stupid, and just look at Pro Evolution, look at a real football game, and implement those things. That being said, the fact that you've put those things in, they're actually even done a little bit better than Pro Evolution's doing them. The pointing where they want the it's big, all these things. And that's another reason why I'm like, wow. I mean, that was one thing that PES had over FIFA that they no longer have. Then you move on to the online, and this is like a huge thing that they've now done with a 10v10. I mean, guys, I don't even need to go into how big a deal that is. Not only have they done 10v10, they've now gotten clubs. So you can actually have a club of 50-man squad online where everybody's a human player. You can have multiple matches going on with your club at the same time. They've got leagues and everything. I mean, guys, you know, we already knew about Be a Pro, which Pro Evolution has now copied with Be a Legend. But Pro Evolution now, I mean, how do you compare with this? Some people have argued that Be a Legend is still good because you can only be a midfielder or a striker. You can't be a defender because it's boring. And that's part of football, guys. There are defenders. I'll be playing in defense sometimes on the FIFA 09 10v10. Big thing. So what? You know? So that's just stupid. But I'm just like, you've got clubs now and 10v10. I mean, my goodness. That there will be people, I will guarantee that that is all they'll play with FIFA, and that's just all they'll be playing. They won't even be playing the other modes. That in itself is a selling. That is a selling point in itself. You know. So I mean, that's like one thing. Then you know you've got obviously the online on FIFA has always been superb. You know, since they started with '07, it's always been really good. But there are some gripes, and I'll just say this, and I say, look, EA, listen well to this, because people have been very angry about this, and for some reason, your stubbornness befuddles me, befuddles a lot of us. You've got this really good system of online, but for some reason, you have, with one hand, done great things, and then with the other hand, like crippled your online ranking system and online playability. Couple things to run through. You sort of corrected this with UEFA Euro 2008, but the whole abuse of like teams like Barcelona and Manchester United is ridiculous. Like, guys, come on. Set up a system whereby if people are going to keep playing with these teams, they will have to play 100 games or 50 games more than a guy who's playing with Tranmere or something in order to get the same amount of points for a win. That will nullify people who just run online and just play with these teams week in, week out, every game. Because it just spoils the game. Like, nobody's playing with anything different. Euro 2008 started bringing in that thing of like, the better the team you play with, the less points you play with. I think you should make it even more extreme. Like, it's a market difference. So if somebody is like playing with a one-star team versus a five-star team, a five-star team beating a one-star team will get next to nothing. But a one-star team beating a five-star team will get like as many points as a five-star team would need to get by winning 20 games. That's what it should be like. So it actually has a big impact and people will change. So that's one thing. I hope you've changed it. I don't know. People have said they have. That needs to be sorted out. Second thing, this is like a very confusing thing that I don't understand why they do it. There are no draws online for FIFA in the last games that they've made. Guys, do you realize that a draw is one of the fundamental facets of football in real life? If you're trying to make a simulation, how the hell is there no draws online in ranked games? Everything goes to penalties. What you understand is like penalties actually lose the drama when there's a penalty potential for every damn game online. Then it just doesn't mean anything anymore. Save your penalties for cup finals, tiebreakers when there's replays of cup things or whatever you want to do. But for online games, I mean, I remember the FIFA '08 debacle, it was ridiculous, whereby it's like, you're like, man, there's no point in even playing to the end of the game because penalty mechanic was crap because once you've picked your spot on the goal, you couldn't change it. So a guy could just run all the way to a goalkeeper could run all the way to the side of the goal, and if he happens to have guessed right, you're standing there like an idiot because you've already charged up your bar pointing to that side of the goal and you can't change it. In real life, if somebody did that, a keeper did that, you could just put it to the other side of the goal because like what idiot keeper is going to run all the way to the right hand side of the goal or left hand side when you've not even kicked the ball and just run all the way. But in FIFA, you could do that and actually save the ball. It was stupid. And what was so annoying is that, guys, it's like a catch-22. You've created a game where everything goes like it's so tight, it's very hard to score, it's very realistic. You've got to play a passing game. So most games end up in draws. But if most games end up in draws and every draw goes to penalties, then what's the point? Because then there's always a winner. And always a winner has no place in world football. Maybe it does in America and in Vancouver and Canada, wherever you are. But in Europe and in most of the footballing world, draws are a part of the game. So I do not understand what reason you have for doing that, but it's one of the most frustrating things of the online. Is that, I mean, come on, guys. Like you're a minor team. You've already had to overcome all the glitches and all the problems with the game. You managed to like get a draw out of like a big team online, and you get nothing for it because you now got to go to bloody penalties against like a top rated keeper against your crappy keeper. All this stuff is just stupid. So guys, sort that out. There is no excuse. Second thing, and guys, don't get me wrong. This is not attacking FIFA Online because, like I've already said, the game is like. I mean, it's gonna be the best game. It's gonna be the best game. I mean, it's gonna be the best game. There's nothing to say about it. But you've got to really look at these elements because this could ruin what could be categorically greater than everything else. Things like this could ruin it completely. Another big thing is the controls. Guys, you've given us too many options, guys. Manual, semi, assisted for every single. I'm like, what the hell is this? I mean, fine, I personally like manual for most things, semi for a couple of things, but the situation is when you're playing people online, which is what a lot of us do, it negates the experience of playing online because you have no idea what controls the other guy's using and you want to enjoy the game. But when you're enjoying it and want to feel the controls of the game better and you're using manual and semi, what happens is that you're going to miss a lot more chances, but that's just part of the game. You just accept that, and some passes will go astray and whatever. you know, but some people, all they want to do is just score every chance, hit the target every single shot. So they put everything on assisted and end up beating you. But that's not how you. And I think that is where Pro Evolution is winning, because they just have the controls are the controls. So if you're playing somebody and they're better than you, they're just better than you. With FIFA, you never know whether they're better. You're playing the game and like, oh, he might be on auto shooting or manual shooting or semi, and I'm on so therefore maybe it's ridiculous, guys. So I've suggested this, and I don't know whether they're going to even, guys. What you could do is have separate leagues